guys, this is Shu. I wanted to talk a little bit today about freedom. It's Independence Day, and we're celebrating Independence Day in the U.S. today. And most countries have a day where they celebrate the independence from different country, or previous oppressions per se. And often we don't, we don't always see that in general, or freedom is always, it's not free. Maybe we know like people have to sacrifice their life in order for us to reap the benefits of the freedom that we have today. But the same thing goes for pretty much anything in life. That for us to have a meaningful life, for us to have the things that we want in life, most often we have to invest ourselves into it, our time, our skills, our money, in order to reap the life that we want. And if you look for, back to like independence of a country, people, it all starts with people being dissatisfied with what's going on. They had to be, they had get to the point where there's discontent in order for them to move into action. Same thing for our lives. In order to be free from stress and be free from anxiety, we have to first become dissatisfied with the current situation, dissatisfied with the cycle of stress, and then from there wanting to change it, right? So I want you to think about maybe two things in your life right now that you really are wanting to see happening in your life. Three things that you've been praying for a long time, three things that you might been, dreaming for, and like just really wanting to see in your life. And then for those two things, I want you to think of what you must do in your must invest personally in order to reap those things, in order to see those things happen. Because what happens is when things are free, often people don't appreciate as much, and they don't take care of it. They don't do everything they could to sustain it. For example, if you give someone a car, for example, yes, they might need a vehicle, but they might not take good care of it compared to if they had to work hard and save money and then go buy the car. It's like all the extra steps that they had to invest in order to reach, get that vehicle becomes this investment, this personal investment that create ownership, right? So the things that we value the most in life are the things that we invest ourselves in, if that makes sense. So just look in your own life. What are the things that you're most proud of? What are the things that you get such of accomplishment, and you're like, wow, I really did this. I'm so proud of myself for doing this. Most likely, it didn't just come like manna from heaven. You had to work your battle in order to get those things. And it can be anything, for parenting, it can be business, it can be work, it can get promotion, education. All those things that we enjoy in life that we see as accomplishment don't come easily. Same thing goes for our emotional health. So if you're wanting to be free from depression and anxiety and stress, most likely I guarantee, not most likely, I guarantee you have to work into it. You have to invest into it. And it's not just like, again, I'm not talking all money figure here. I'm talking about your personal work, the time that you put into freeing yourself from the cycle of stress, the time you put into working out your skills. Even like, let's say you're going to go find a counselor, you have to find, do your research, find the counselor, make sure it works for you. Then you have to go to counseling. Then you have to apply the things that you've been learning in counseling in order for it to have an impact in your life. So none of those are free. So even if somebody else is paying for your counseling session, all the work that you have to do in order to reap the benefits of that counseling session, it's work. It's not free, right? So I want you to just remember that. Remember that freedom is not free. So if there are things in your life that you feel like you're just like, oh, such in bondage, and you're trying to free yourself from it, just remember and realize that you're going to have to work hard to get that freedom. And it all starts with being dissatisfied of where things are. So you have to get to a point where you're so uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, and then you start working hard to get a better life. All right, guys, thanks. Enjoy your Independence Day, and remember, freedom is not free.